Good afternoon. My name is Niko House, host of the political radio show Mi Casa es Su Casa. And today, I wanted to talk a little bit about who Kim Dotcom is, because many people have actually had this question, and I think that it's an important question to ask. And probably most importantly, people would like to know, who is he in reference to Seth Rich? Who is he in reference to Julian Assange? And should we be giving any legitimacy to the claims that he is in fact the person that he claims to be, as far as his connection to both of those individuals? So I've seen a lot of, I've been observing, and I've seen a lot over the last couple of days involving Kim Dotcom, whether he is legitimate, whether he's illegitimate. I've heard him referred to as a hacker, which in a sense is true. I've heard him referred to as a criminal, which in a sense is also kind of true. But essentially, he is an advocate. First of all, for those of you who don't know, he's the creator of Mega Upload. But also, he is an advocate for net neutrality, if you will. One of the battles that we're dealing with today. He is an advocate of free internet. He is an advocate of, lack of he doesn't like the whole police state, that era that we are creeping into. So who is he in regards to Seth Rich? And who is he in regards to Julian Assange? And should we be giving any credence to his claims? I think that this video might give you an answer to those questions.
Spotlight on all these secrets.
How often do you talk to him?
Why is that important to you?
I'm curious.
Look, I like these guys, I look up to them. I think they are very brave. They're going through a very hard time, and they chose to do that for the betterment of all of us. So yeah, I love to talk to them.
You tweeted that you were going to be Hillary's worst nightmare in 2016. How so?
Well, I have to say it's probably more Julian. But I'm aware of some of the things that are going to be roadblocks for her. So, if I can provide some transparency with these people and make them part of what the Internet Party stands for, then, I will be happy to do that.
You're saying Julian Assange is going to be Hillary's worst nightmare in 2016.
I think so, yeah.
How so?
Well, he has access to information.
Now, if you were paying attention, you heard him say that he's obviously extremely fond of Julian Assange and those like him. He said that he would be giving as much transparency as possible in regards to whatever he can help out with, being the creator of Mega Upload and being able to facilitate Assange's job in creating and facilitating emails to the public. But probably most importantly, and I don't know if many of you heard this, which I'm sure a lot of you did, he said that Julian Assange is going to give Hillary Clinton hell. Now, this statement, now in hindsight, seems pretty normal. He did give him hell, or her hell. He did probably trample her campaign as if she wasn't doing a good enough job of doing that on her own. But this video, ladies and gentlemen, is from May of 2015. Julian Assange actually said that he was going to give Hillary Clinton hell in May of 2015, and for some reason, Kim Dotcom knew him well enough to know that he said, because this video is May of 2015. For those of you who don't know, that's before the campaign started ramping up. Well before the campaign started ramping up. My group, my organization for Bernie Sanders hadn't even, for Carolina Students for Bernie, hadn't even been, coming to fruition yet, outside of 3 of us. So before the elections had even began, Kim Dotcom said that Assange told him that he was going to give Hillary Clinton hell. Now, this is a pretty big deal, because it means he's closer to the situation than what most people know and what most people realize. And him coming out at this very moment in time signals us that it's of utmost importance that he does so. But it also lets us know that he's not full of shit. Whether or not his information is as damning or as detrimental as he claimed it to be is, of course, still left to be determined. However, we do know he has information. We do know he's close to Assange. And we do know in some capacity he's probably communicating with Seth Rich, considering he knew Assange's plans going into this election, and he probably helped assist with Assange's plans. We won't know that until a little bit later. Now, many of you are saying, well, if he had this information, why doesn't he release it? Why wouldn't he just release it right now? Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. Legal issues, first of all. He doesn't want to cross into any legal boundary that could end up leading him to be extradited back to the United States, because there's a huge legal battle for that to this day. It's been ongoing, actually. Excuse me. But also, there's a safety proponent to this. Why would he say that and then not release the information? I've been constantly asked. Because, as we all know, the Seth Rich situation has ramped up incredibly in the last week or so. And people are going to be looking to tie up loose ends. Let's be very clear on that. Because, let's be honest, we don't know whether the DNC did it. We don't know if Hillary Clinton called a hit. We don't know if Debbie Wasserman Schultz called a hit. No, we do not know that. However, we do know this was not a botched robbery. Let's be very clear on that. We do know that he was alive and responsive before he went to the hospital. And we do know that the nurses are not allowed to talk about what was said in that room when he got to the hospital and eventually passed away. What we do know, however, is that Seth Rich worked for the DNC. What we do know, however, is that people are going to be looking to deal with anyone who could possibly lead them back, have a trail lead back to the person who may have called the hit, or, perhaps the person who may be able to prove that this Russia nonsense is just that, nonsense. Whether it's connected to Seth Rich's murder or not, it could be the connection that we need to prove that the Russian nonsense is in fact that. Now, that's kind of scary if you're someone who could be implicated in such things. Now, Kim Dotcom did the right thing. He made himself public with the knowledge. He made that fact that he had that knowledge public, because now if something happens to them, it's immediately suspicious. It obviously will be investigated and it'll be dealt with accordingly, at least in the trial of public opinion. But he didn't reveal information because legally he does not want to screw himself, which I think, once again, was the right thing to do. But also, he also builds up, which is more from an entertainment standpoint, suspense. So now a bunch of people are going to his profile, a bunch of people are researching his credentials, his credibility, and not giving anyone, that people are going to discredit him. But if he would have released that information with nobody having any background knowledge of who he was outside of being the creator of Mega Upload, it gives a higher chance gives the establishment media and the mainstream media a higher chance to discredit him. Because we have, many people outside of the hacking community and the internet world, didn't know who this gentleman was. So when he puts that suspense, and now a bunch of people are following him, researching him, doing videos on him, doing what we're supposed to do, it increases his credibility so that when he comes out, it'll be a lot more believable, a lot more credible. So I agree with his methods. It was smart for him, safety-wise, to come out, because people will be looking to tie up loose ends, Legally, it was smart for him to wait until he talks to his legal team because he doesn't want to get into any legal trouble. And, letting everybody know, hey, I have some information coming out. I'm not suicidal. I'm not about to go missing. I have no plans on going missing anytime soon. That's the right way to go about it, in my opinion. So, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe, and comment below. I'd love to know your thoughts about the situation. And thank you for watching. And always remember, find your balance. Have a good afternoon.